Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're going to be exploring Opendoor Technologies, Inc.
Opendoor Technologies, Inc.
Yeah, and we've got a whole bunch of sources,
We do.
like financials, company profile, stock forecasts, in-depth analysis, all that good stuff.
Lots of good stuff.
So think of this episode as like your cheat sheet to really understand Opendoor.
Your one-stop shop.
How it all works, the challenges, the potential, all that.
Yeah, what's really fascinating about Opendoor is that it's not just another real estate company,
Right.
They're trying to revolutionize the entire game of buying and selling homes.
Oh, okay.
With this whole iBuyer concept.
Okay, so for those who haven't heard that term before,
Yeah.
what exactly does it mean to be an iBuyer?
Imagine skipping the whole traditional real estate rigmarole.
Okay.
So instead of listing your home, dealing with open houses, negotiating with buyers, all that,
Yeah.
you just sell it directly to Opendoor.
They take care of any repairs needed, and then they put the house back on the market.
So it's all about convenience.
Yeah, convenience is a huge selling point for sure.
Okay.
They've got like 3 main offerings.
Yeah.
Sold to Opendoor, which is pretty self-explanatory.
Right.
List with Opendoor, which gives sellers a little more flexibility.
Okay.
And then Opendoor Marketplace, which kind of broadens that pool of potential buyers.
Makes sense.
But, we can't forget that this model isn't without its risks.
Right.
The whole iBuyer model really hinges on accurately predicting those market trends. And in a volatile market, well, that can be a very tricky business.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And speaking of business, let's talk about Opendoor's financials.
Yes,
They paint a pretty interesting picture.
they do.
Just in the last 12 months, they pulled in a whopping $4.94 billion in revenue
Wow.
and purchased over 15,000 homes in just the last quarter.
That is a lot of homes.
It is. Those are some serious numbers.
Yep.
Yeah, those are some serious numbers. But remember,
Yeah.
revenue isn't the whole story.
Right.
Opendoor has actually been struggling with profitability.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they reported a net loss of $370 million in the last 12 months.
Oh, wow.
And if you kind of dig into their financials a little bit,
Yeah.
you'll see a pretty hefty debt-to-equity ratio, like 3.16.
Okay, so that raises a bit of a red flag for me.
Yeah.
And it makes you wonder about the management team.
Yeah, who's steering the ship, right?
Yeah, exactly. So who is calling the shots?
So the current CEO is Carrie Wheeler.
Yeah.
And Opendoor was founded back in 2014.
Okay.
They've definitely made like a splash in the industry,
Right.
But their financial performance has been a little bit of a roller coaster ride.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah.
And that FTC fine they got a while back
Oh, yeah.
for misleading consumers,
Right.
that definitely didn't help their image.
No, not at all.
It makes you question,
Makes you wonder.
their transparency,
Yeah,
maybe their ethics a little bit.
for sure.
Like, what's going on over there?
Yeah, it really highlights the importance of doing your homework right.
Yeah.
When you're looking at any company, especially one that's trying to, disrupt a well-established industry.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah.
So let's dive into these financials a little bit deeper.
Okay.
Starting with the balance sheet. They do have a decent chunk of cash on hand.
Yeah, they do.
Like $837 million to be exact.
It's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad, but
There's always a but.
there's always a but.
It's important to consider the whole picture.
Right.
Their debt is significant.
Okay.
It's sitting at a hefty $2.53 billion. Yeah.
So that leaves them with a net cash position of
Negative 1.7 million.
negative $1.7 billion.
Yeah.
So it's like having money in your wallet,
Right.
but also having like a massive credit card balance.
Massive credit card debt.
Not ideal.
Not the best situation.
Not the best situation at all.
No.
And what about their cash flow statement?
Yeah, good question.
How are they managing, the incoming and outgoing cash?
Well, unfortunately, their operating cash flow has been negative for the past 12 months,
Oh, no.
which basically means they're spending more than they're bringing in from their core operations.
Still not great.
Not great. It's not necessarily a death sentence,
Okay.
but it's definitely a major concern.
Yeah, that raises some questions for me about like their long-term sustainability.
Yeah, for sure.
Can they keep the lights on?
Yeah.
Can they invest in growth?
Can they manage that debt load?
Exactly. Can they manage that debt load with, a negative cash flow?
Big questions.
Big questions. And we are going to tackle those questions after we take a closer look at market sentiment and Expert predictions. All right, so we've looked at Opendoor's business model, and we've kind of gotten a glimpse of their financial health.
Mm-hmm.
But what's the market saying about them?
Yeah, good question.
Are investors bullish or bearish on Opendoor's future?
Well, if you look at their stock performance over the past year, it's down over 59%,
Wow.
which
Okay.
is, yeah, that's a pretty steep drop,
Yeah.
suggesting that, some investors are maybe getting a little spooked.
Yeah. Losing
Little
confidence.
confidence, yeah.
Okay, but what about the analysts?
Yeah.
What are they saying? What are they predicting?
The current consensus is actually a hold rating,
So what does that mean?
which basically means they're kind of on the fence about it.
Okay.
Their average price target is $2.23,
Okay.
which interestingly suggests a potential upside of over 66%.
So there's a little bit of a mixed bag out there.
Yeah, a little bit of a mixed bag.
Some people think it's going to go up,
Some see potential.
but there's not so much.
Yeah.
Is there anything else we can look at to kind of gauge market sentiment?
Absolutely. Keep an eye on the short interest.
Okay.
Currently, about 10% of Opendoor's outstanding shares have been sold short.
Okay, can you remind me what short selling is again?
Yeah, essentially it's a bet that a stock's price is going to go down.
Gotcha.
So when you see high short interest, it kind of suggests that, a good chunk of investors are skeptical.
Skeptical about the company's future.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so lack of confidence from some corners of the market.
Right.
Okay, so now let's zoom out a little bit
Okay.
and look at the bigger picture.
The big picture.
Who are the major players behind Opendoor? Like, what's the ownership structure look like?
Well, it's not your average startup,
Right.
Institutional investors actually hold a pretty big chunk, 54.87% of the outstanding shares.
Wow. So,
That means, big investment firms have a pretty significant stake in Opendoor's success.
yeah, makes you wonder what they see that maybe individual investors are missing.
Right,
Oh, yeah.
exactly.
So let's do a classic SWOT analysis.
Love a good SWOT analysis.
I love it. It's breaks it down so nice.
Yeah, simple but effective.
Exactly. Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats.
Lay it all out.
Lay it all out. So hit me with the strengths.
All right, so Opendoor's biggest strength, I'd say, is their technology.
Okay.
They've really built a platform that streamlines the whole home buying and selling process.
Makes sense.
Makes it more efficient, more user-friendly.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, they've got, pretty good brand recognition in the iBuyer space.
Right.
And they have the ability to operate on a large scale, which gives them, an edge.
Yeah, for sure. Economies of scale.
Exactly.
But every company has its weaknesses.
Yeah, nobody's perfect.
So what are some of Opendoor's vulnerabilities?
Well, like we're talking about earlier, that high debt,
Mm-hmm.
that's a big one.
Big concern.
Big concern, yep. And inconsistent profitability.
Right.
That's another red flag.
Yeah. Not great.
And then their geographic reach is still a little limited.
Okay.
They're not nationwide yet, which kind of restricts their growth potential a bit.
Okay, so they've got some hurdles to overcome.
I do.
But let's talk opportunities.
All right.
What doors could open for Opendoor in the future?
Well, there's definitely potential for expansion, right?
Right.
They could move into new markets, both here in the U.S. and even internationally.
Go global.
Go global, exactly. There's also room to improve their profitability,
Right.
by kind of refining their pricing models,
Right.
maybe boosting their operational efficiency.
Hmm.
And they could really capitalize on, this growing trend of technology adoption in the real estate sector.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah,
So sounds like they have plenty of options for growth.
they do, but there are always threats.
Of course. Of course. What external factors could, throw a wrench in their plans?
Well, competition's heating up in the iBuyer space,
Okay.
so they got to stay ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
There's also the risk of, regulatory changes.
Oh, right. Yeah.
That could impact their business model.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
And then there's always the looming possibility of an economic downturn.
Yeah. Always got to keep that in mind.
Yeah, which could really, hit the real estate market hard.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So it sounds like Opendoor's a little bit of a gamble then.
Yeah, it's not a sure thing.
High risk, high reward.
Potentially. Yeah. I mean, there are definitely valid concerns about, their financial stability and their ability to navigate such a competitive and often unpredictable market.
Right.
But they're also a company with, a bold vision,
Yeah.
innovative technology, and the potential to really reshape the real estate landscape.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's a fascinating case study for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And for all of you listeners who love a good puzzle, we've got one final thought to leave you with. It's something we haven't explicitly discussed yet,
Okay.
but it's definitely something to ponder as you dig deeper into Opendoor.
I like it. A little cliffhanger.
A little cliffhanger.
All right, lay it on me.
So, given their position in the market,
Okay.
their technology, and their shall we say interesting financial situation,
Interesting. Yeah.
could Opendoor be a prime acquisition target?
That's a good question.
Right.
Yeah.
Could a larger company, maybe a real estate giant, or even a tech company, just swoop in and buy them out?
It's certainly a possibility.
Right.
And that's something that we can explore in more detail down the road.
Down the road. Okay, I like it.
Yeah.
So before we wrap things up, just a
Well-
quick reminder that all the sources we use to compile this information are linked in the description below.
Definitely check them out.
Yeah, check them out. Dive into the data.
Do your own research.
Exactly. Do your own research. Form your own conclusions about Opendoor's future.
Absolutely.
And if you're hungry for more deep dives
More deep dives
into fascinating companies,
in the industries.
be sure to subscribe to the channel.
Hit that subscribe button.
We've got a whole library of episodes waiting for you.
We do.
And while you're at it, drop your suggestions
Yeah.
for future deep dives
Yeah, let us know what you want to hear about.
in the comments. We love hearing what you're interested in.
We do.
Now, a quick disclaimer.
Okay.
The information we've presented here has been compiled using artificial intelligence
Right.
and advanced algorithms.
Fancy stuff.
Fancy stuff. It's for educational purposes only,
Not financial advice.
not financial advice.
Always do your own research.
Always do your own research, consult with a financial advisor, and remember that all investments carry inherent risks.
They do.
It's the nature of the beast.
It is.
Invest wisely, folks.
Invest wisely.
And we will see all of you in the next deep dive.
Until next time.